It is time, friends. We're going to be creating some more RHG characters for the viewers. You can see all the ones we've made today here. Pretty much everything here on the screen, I think sans... oh, no, sorry. Everything here was made today. So all of these guys here were made today. Here is... the last one we worked on here was Boise. Now I'm going to be creating more and more and more and more of these. I still have a list that I'm going through of people who commented on my TikTok video that will be receiving an RHG from me, which is this video right here, which I'm going to be putting up in the chat. And I'm going to be pinning it so people can check that out. Anyone who left a comment and is following me on my TikTok, I am creating them an RHG and posting it. Now, I'm going to show you how I go through my process in creating a new character, because a lot of people tell me, how do I create a good character? How do I create a good RHG character or duelist that I want to animate and other people want to animate? All the ideas are already taken. I can't do it. Well, if I can make 30, 50, 100 of these, and they're interesting and engaging and fun to animate, you absolutely could make your own character that fits your style, your personality, and what you want to animate to keep you inspired and others excited to animate your character as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and go down the list, and we're going to jump right into it. How's it going? Vessel, up next. So, I am simply going to go to my last one here, which is Boise. Pop in the new name, make a new file. This is not necessarily information that you need as far as for what you're going to do, but this is step by step what I do. Letting everyone know in Stone Mountain, the Discord, that I am live again. And we're going to get started on Vessel here. We've saved the file, so now what I do is I get rid of everything from the previous character. There we go, except for the head. The only thing I have to work with here is the name and a randomly generated color. It looks like we're going to be using this blue. So Vessel with a blue. Okay. There we go. What's up, Razor Teeth? What's up, Lemon? How you doing? All right, it is that time. Vessel. I always like to start off, honestly, by just drawing different poses as I think of what Vessel might be. Vessel could be good, could be evil. Vessel could be human. Vessel could also be some kind of alien or maybe a robot. I don't know yet. Hope I can see mine get made at some point. I want a silly little animation. Let me see where you're at on the list. Razor Teeth, you might be tonight, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm probably gonna go for 2 hours. I do about 4. I do about 2 an hour. So you're gonna be close. Vessel. I feel like Vessel is something that contains something. Vessel. If I Google Vessel, what does it give me? Vessel. Images. Ships and weird architecture. The Hudson Yards vessel is a very specific thing, but it looks like it's boats and containers. So, can we do something with a boat or a container? What if he's a heavy? A heavy that holds a big box or something that he can put you in? What's up, Modern Jack? If he has a big box that he can put you in, I'm curious as to how he could catch up to you. Because his movement's going to be restricted if he's holding onto something. right? So I can put this up a layer or two, and that way I can put something in between here. I'm just gonna draw a box for the time being, just so we have some kind of container, some kind of vessel. And this isn't like a final idea here. This is just, you know, we're just jotting something down. Vessel. So this is just a container of some kind here. I don't know if I like this idea at all yet. This is just, we're getting something on the screen. I just want into this layer. Okay. Let's see. He has a container. Vessel. MMM. I don't know yet what to think. Because I don't want a guy just walking around with a box, right? That seems kind of weird. Kind of pointless. Containing another being? Oh, true. What if he's holding something back? He already has something in here. Or he himself is the vessel. He could do that, right? That's probably what you were talking about. He is the vessel. You can suck things up and store things. That's also true. I think vessel in the means of he is containing something is probably cooler. Yeah, I like that better. He is the vessel. Let's try that. That is even better. He is the container. I have him in this, like, unassuming pose. Floating. Maybe floating. Air-chan! I didn't say hi to you. What's up, buddy? Vessel. He is the container. If he's the container, what is he the container of? A lot of character creation is asking a lot of questions, and it can be very boring, and it can feel like you're not really going anywhere for a long time. Most of these characters don't take that long to draw. It's really just the idea and hammering down the idea that makes it the hard part, the thing that takes the longest. So a lot of it's just kind of like tinkering. You'll see me like move stuff around, and I'll just mess with the pose a little bit. I feel like I'm getting to know what this character is, and then they can try to talk to me while we're doing this. So dope. Contains a spirit or multiple, perhaps. That would be cool. Maybe container contains monsters that attack. Maybe. Vessel. Maybe if I give him a face. Maybe if I give him a face, it'll tell me something about him. Sometimes the face helps me. Is he good? Is he bad? Like, good or evil? Because he's got an evil smile. Whenever I do this, like, this kind of mouth, it's like an evil guy. Vessel. Thinking. We're using our thinking. Vessel. Is there anything I can take from his name? Cell. 2 S's. So 2 S's reminds me of a slithery snag. Slithery snag. What if he's a snake? What if he's a snake? How would he be a snake if he was a snake? I know snakes don't have tails. I'm just messing around with the tail idea. What do snakes have? Fangs. Anyone named Vessel sounds like a villain for sure. Fangs. Fangs. Snake. Almost like a deep sea creature from the ocean. You know what I mean? Like this. So I just let my mind roam. Just go move around. I'm just freestyling completely. Letting my mind stay loose for ideas. Vessel. Well, Vessel kind of like a deep sea ocean character. Oh, you know what'd be sick? What if he actually has... What if he actually has some kind of secondary motion item, like an orb that glows, that lures out the monster within him? You know, like those deep sea things that have a lure like this, it's like a light bulb. What if he has something that lures out his inner vessel, his inner monster? Because he is the vessel, right? Anglerfishes are insane. But I also don't like the idea of just having a character that is another character, you know? Like, if the real character is a separate character, then I probably should just do the other character, right? So why would I even bother with the first guy? Unless there's some sort of, like, something that has to happen. Like, the default guy has to be useful if the overpowered thing that comes out, because he's a vessel, does something, right? So how... If he's containing something else, what is it? And how does he get it out? That's the question. I like this aquatic idea. We mentioned how we actually haven't done an aquatic creature yet. You know? Something like a fish would be kind of cool, maybe? I don't know if I want to animate this all the time, though. This, like, floating head thing. I don't know if that's worth... I mean, I guess you don't have to animate it like as a secondary movement thing. It could just be a static if you wanted to. Let's go the water route, though. Let's think fish. I think we're getting there. Maybe we don't have to have an inner monster, but what if he is a fish of some kind? I think we should explore the fish route. Fish have fins. Fish also have... Like, the outside guy could be cowardly, but the inside could be angry and aggressive. True. Well, he's full of other fish and spits them out at people? Oh, he's a vessel of a bunch of fish? That would make him a fisherman. His weapon is a fishing pole. His weapon is a fishing pole. And he can use it to cast and catch people. And then he could, like, open his mouth and shoot out a bunch of fish. Ugh. That would be kind of cool. What if he's an anglerfish? He's an anglerfish guy. What's up, Oranger? You're fine, buddy. He's an anglerfish guy, right? In that he has this, like, glowing orb thing. But he also has a fishing pole weapon. Like so. Oh man, I didn't select all these little guys. Hold on. Fishing pole. Is there a time limit on how many you can comment your TikTok RSG challenge? Or are you just gonna keep going the list? Well, eventually the post will die. Eventually the post will die. People will stop seeing it and stop commenting on it. It'll go away. So I'm hoping it goes away at some point. Like people just stop at a healthy time, you know, like where it isn't infinite. Hey, if it goes on for a while, that's okay. But my whole point of doing this is I want to connect with my community directly. And I don't know how else other than to provide something to them that is personal in a way that you go, wow, that's actually like for me, because it is. And I want to be able to do that, but if it gets like crazy big where it had like, you know, 100,000 views and 10,000 comments or something, it's not going to work. It takes me, I make 2 of these an hour, right? So it's just not going to work. But I don't foresee it going that long, you know? It just won't go that long. Can you not fill a object? I guess not. I'll show you how we're gonna make that glow too. I'm gonna make it glow. I guess you could place a hook with another anglerfish that bites when it comes too close to someone. Wait a minute. What if he catches something? What if he catches something? The anglerfish comes out of his arm. Well, it's not like it doesn't have to be an anglerfish. Like a monster. His arm becomes a monster or something. That might be too much, too active. Wait a minute. You know what other deep sea monsters there are? That wouldn't be that hard to animate. It'd be like animating Mr. Pix almost. You picking up what I'm putting down? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? What if he's an octopus? And the vessel within him is like Cthulhu. That would be really simple to animate. It would not be difficult to animate. You could even just do it with a single arm. That might be kind of cool. Yes, real enemies, and you could stab them. He could also grapple. You could also grapple the enemies with the octopus limb. Yeah, he's Cthulhu essentially trapped inside of this stick figure. So he lures people in. And these arms don't always have to, these tentacles don't always have to be out. You know what I mean? He could like put these away. Oh, I'm still drawing objects. I don't want to draw objects right now. This is gonna be so cool. Oh, I know what's happening now for this. There we go. That's so cool. That's cool. Cthulhu trapped inside of him. So it's kind of like Tarantula in the sense that he could like bring these tentacle arms out whenever he wants. Like whenever it's like the most convenient to do. And retract them in other moments when it doesn't make sense to have them out. So that way you don't have to animate them all the time, which would get really cumbersome and annoying. And you don't want that, trust. Making Insanity jealous. Have you ever seen that? I don't know about that. Oh, what kind of... You know what would be cool? Yeah, no, we don't need any blood or anything that happens. I was gonna say, maybe I have some blood or something when it comes out, but you don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. That's cool. And then let's do some kind of like glow for the no, I don't want that. Where's the... What? Oh well. I guess I'll grab one of these. There we go.
I like it.
There we go. I like it. That's sick. Vessel. Cthulhu lies within. Let's do 13 maybe? Yeah. Wields a magical fishing pole. Pulls enemies to their doom. To get pummeled. Nah, I don't need to do it to their doom. Pulls enemies in to pummel them. Pummel them with tentacles. Can spawn. Can replace both arms with multiple tentacles. Yes, sirree, Bob. That's cool. What do you guys think? Our first aquatic. Crow for Crow, what's up, buddy? It's our first aquatic character. Very cool, awesome sauce. Excellent. Vessel is complete. What? How did I not get Vessel's name? Hello? I didn't copy that frame. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, Vessel is complete. You know the drill. I'm going to save it here. I'm going to save it here. I really don't need this filter anymore. I don't know why that's still on there. Yep, save. And we're going to publish. I'm going to drop it into Stone Mountain. Been animating that character you made me. Although I'm sick, so it's been going slow. Aw, that's cool. I'm sad you're not feeling well. Alright, let's go to the creations. And this is a vessel. Not a vessel. Donskis. And once it's there, I now can go and grab it on my phone. And I'm gonna find my post and I'm gonna give it to Vessel. Please, I hope I don't have to scroll forever to find Vessel. This has now been the most difficult part of the job. Has been finding the person that made the post. There it is. Don't let him get angry. That's what I wrote. Don't let him get angry. Alright, Vessel is done. On to the next. Ohio Skibidi is what we got to work with. Ohio Skibidi it is. Okay. Let's see. Let's get a color. Ooh, that's the first of that. I haven't seen even a reddish in a long time. Pink. Okay, not a whole lot to go on for Ohio Skibidi because it means almost nothing. Is there anything I can pull from this? There's ski. Ski. Oh, ski. Oh, ski. Ooh, what about somebody with skis? Oh, ski. Oh, ski. I think it's cool that he's red because you would think he'd be blue for like a colder setting. But I feel like something with skis. Remember, the first stage, I'm just drawing stuff. I'm just doing poses. Red to stay because he's actually warm. And this to stay stays warm in the cold. Maybe. Heat powers. Maybe. Heavy, maybe? It's a heavy stance. Haven't had a heavy in a minute. I've had a lot of lights with high mobility. Maybe it's a heavy? I feel like it's something to do with ski. Like, I think we could break something out of ski. Skiing, downhill, mountains. The little, like, ski poker things to stay balanced. I don't want to put them on skis. I think that's lame. Because that's just going to be super giga restrictive. Ski blades. He can use a ski blade as a weapon. A ski blade, a singular ski blade as a weapon. And let's see. It's a ski blade. It's like a weapon that was originally for skiing. Okay. It's a ski sword. What kind of abilities would he have? What kind of abilities could he have? What happens if I slap that? Oh. That's interesting. That's interesting. Don't think I like that very much. I think I could work with this shape. Maybe I make it a line tool first. Make it just more efficient. Like so. I like the idea though. So I'm going to recreate the same thing in a line tool. That way it's a little more clean, I guess you could say. You know what? Instead of that, that's awful. This is how we can do this. That's better. Oh, get out of here. It says it's not... Gaps aren't closed. Whatever. Okay, that's a little better. Maybe red blood / ice since he's a red stick man. Yeah, it's like a ski blade. Like if you're skiing, you would put your feet like somewhere in this area here, but it's like he's converted it into a sword. Like the bent tip, he bent the tip further. It's sharpened up, but it's like this was once like a ski. Kind of reminds you of Alpha. I don't know about that. I mean, other than the fact that it is a sword also. No other detail would be similar. At least not yet. I don't like the handle holding part at all. I'm getting rid of it. We'll just leave it simple. Oh, you know what? I know how we can do this. We're just gonna put this guy, the one arm above. There we go. Okay. Now I do want to lean into this ski personality though. And how can we do that? I gotta try to think about this. I could give him ski goggles. Ski goggles. Let's see how I want to do these. Something like this. Like that, and I'm just gonna go like a gray here. And then I'll make a couple lines here for the white shine on the goggles. Yes, okay. Okay, that's an easy detail that adds a little bit of life to it. You can slide up for mobility, that would be cool. Oh, then should he have two? Give him two. He wields both of them. Why not? Right? Yeah, he's a pro skier. He's an Ohio skier, isn't it? People ski in Ohio? I don't know. I'm trying to give it a different meaning. We gotta take this back. We're taking it back. This is cool. We're getting there. He's almost not Ohio Skibidi. He's... Oh. Ohio Ski Beady. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's got to have some sort of scarf on, right? We gotta take it back. It's not theirs. It's ours. This is our thing now. I'm not being persuaded by their nonsense. A scarf makes sense in this situation, so I'm going with the scarf. It's also nice to keep the coloring on brand, on theme. I'm cleansing it, exactly. Yes. And then underneath we'll go darker. Oh, come on. Fill it all the way. Close small gaps. Let's go. That's sick. He's looking much cooler. These are skis. Is there any way we can make them look a little bit more like skis? Skis. Just put skis. Because I'm trying to blend them between skis and a weapon, right? So it's not like... I know there's a place where you put your feet, but it's not necessarily like... You couldn't just remove those. Because remember, he's turning his skis into a weapon. Oh, but maybe we leave him there so he can get traction, so he can easily jump on them. That's what we're going to do. So on the weapon itself, I'm going to add little foot thingies where he can place his feet. I'm trying to think of how I could do that in a way that makes sense. Because his feet are little, right? He doesn't have boots on. He doesn't need boots on either. Yeah. We just need a place where he places his feet. Where it looks like he could, like, just snap into them. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to look like where they snap in. It just needs to look like some kind of contraption where you put your feet in. Yeah, something that represents like that part of the ski where you can put your feet in. That is sick, dude. Are you kidding me? So he's fast. He wields 2 swords. Is there anything else to do with like snow that we could use? I think it's so cool that he's red too. Because it's like the opposite now, you know what I mean? Ice breath? Well, he's definitely not a heavy anymore. He's too mobile. So I usually don't want to give him ranged attacks. What effects could the ski blades have? I don't want to just say ice damage. That's kind of boring. What can the the skis do? What are some other things skiers do? Has a lot to do with snow, but I don't necessarily want like snow to be part of it necessarily. It doesn't have to be. What else do you find on a mountain? There's rocks, there's trees, animals, avalanche. Avalanche. I kind of like the idea of avalanche. Cardars, what's up, buddy? Avalanche. I'm trying to think of... Oh, I feel like I'm close. I want something to do with the skis. I think he's perfect if the skis do something. Anything. Anything. They're really cool that it's like this dual blade that he can also ride. High ground to do something really good. Yeah, and he can get there because he's fast. We're so close. I just want the skis to have something visual. Something visual. We're on the last ingredient for our character here. Something. Oh, did I just replace what I was looking at? Lol. Something visual. Anything. Snow. I keep just seeing snow. That's like the only thing he's not missing. He's like, we're missing right now. Ice texture? No. It's got to be an effect. You know? Like he hits he hits you with the ski blade, and this happens. And I don't want it to just freeze the target. That's kind of boring. He's quick. I want it to stay melee. It leaves stinging cold numbing spot on the rest. Yeah, that's still like just ice damage. I want it to be something more than just ice damage. I'm so close, man. He's right there. He's literally done. I just want this last piece. I like when getting a kill count does something to the weapons. Is there something we can think about when he kills or defeats an enemy that happens with the skis? And it's not just gets stronger or gets bigger, because those things aren't necessarily even useful if it gets something bigger. And it can't just be faster. I want it to be visual. But this is tough, man. He's such a cool character. I don't want to ruin it. Combine the skis into a snowboard. I don't know that that necessarily does anything different than for him, because plus also skiers, by the way, hate snowboarders. So I don't think that would fly. That's what it looks like combined. I'd rather have some kind of effect coming from these guys. What about, okay, I like hit effects. I like hit effects. What if when he hits you with his ski, could we have snow come off of it? Like snowballs spring up out of the target? And then what would happen? If snowballs spring up from the target, what would happen? What's up, Struck? I like hit effects a lot. What can the snow do? And I don't want to just like bury them or it gets cold, you know? Is there something else? You need to sleep for some reason? I think you need to sleep probably because you're human, but thanks for stopping by. Thank you. What can the snowballs do? On hit, snowballs. What do the snowballs do? Blind them? Blinding is such a hard effect to see the results of, you know? Like, them just being like, oh, I can't see is like, you know, kind of lame. Ooh, I like the orbiting idea. so they can aimbot. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. So when he hits them, it spawns snowballs. And those snowballs orbit him. And then either that target or other targets will also get pelted by it. Enemies hit by the snowballs losing focus is something that would just happen naturally in that scenario. So I think that's fine. But, because that's going to happen regardless. Like, if you get hit by a snowball, that's just an effect that's going to happen by getting hit by a snowball. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm talking about. That makes him a sick character. Because now it's like, I actually want to hit targets because I want to spawn these snowballs because I think it'd be so cool to hit more people with snowballs. That's a good idea. Yes, sirree, Bob. Great job. That makes it all worth it. Now we check this out. We're gonna spiffy this up a little bit with some radial gradients action. Is there a fine line here? There is. Okay, add. Alpha. Whoa, let's not zoom into 2000. Thanks. Get me out of here. We have now taken a name that we would all have dreaded in this circumstance, and you totally forgot his name is Ohio Skibidi, didn't you? I did. He's Ohio Ski Buddy. He's your Ohio Ski Buddy. What's up, Mollis? Honestly, with a name like Ohio Skibidi, he probably is never going to look back at this comment ever again. But either way, I'm really happy with the character we came up with. Good job. Gold stars for everyone. What do you guys think? Dual ski wielding. Can slide on his ski blades. Enemies hit with blades spawn snowballs. Snowballs orbit him and seek out enemies nearby. Yes. Enemies hit with blades spawn snowballs. Snowballs orbit him and seek out nearby enemies. Feels better. Yes. That is so good. Do something! He's cheating mid-fight! Crikey Crisis. What's up, buddy? What do you guys think? Ohio Skibidi is pretty sick, not gonna lie. I was not too excited going into this name because it really does not give me almost anything at all. But we certainly pulled it out. Come on, unlock. Okay, he is done. I just need to grab him, put him in our roster list, so he is not lost. Bro, we did 2 in an hour again. Yikes. But they're so good, though. Ohio Skibidi. They're gonna be so mad that that's what I came up with off of Ohio Skibidi. Where may I lay down my RHG idea for you? Can I say in your chat? You can, but I'm not taking ideas to do myself. Like, I'm not making them custom for people with their specifications. What I'm doing is I'm taking their name and then coming up with something based around that name. If I took customizations from everybody, everyone would have to leave a customized based comment. So I'm leaving it with just the name, but I would like to see what your RHG character idea is. I think that's cool. Yeah. Damn. How about a Bobo? Ohio Skibidi. Ohio Skibidi. Ohio Skibidi. Ohio Skibidi. Right? Haha. Okay, let's go ahead and drop it in Stone Mountain. Take that. Boom. Now, I'm going to go grab it and reply to the comment. I got to find this guy's comment, though. Where is he? That has now been my biggest challenge, is finding where that commenter commented. Oh, I found it. I've unbrain rotted it. Done. Posted. Okay. Boom. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yeah, we did it. What's up, Cop? How you doing, buddy? Oh, trust. I've seen all the things. I've seen Ohio Skibidi. I've seen all the stuff. I've been around the internet too much. But we're reclaiming it. We're unbrain rotting it.
I don't want to cry.
How could you be on the internet and avoid that? That's what I would want to know. How could you possibly spend any time on the internet and not see something Skibidi related at some point? You know what's funny is I have an account, an alternate account on League called Skibidi Wa Papa. And it has nothing to do with the meme. And I created it years before the meme. Because of this.
Now open at Turtle Bay Museum, discover Steampunk, an exhibition for all ages.
Featuring futuristic technology.
Skibidi Wa Papa. That's why I named my account Skibidi Wa Papa. But now, when you look at it, it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with Little Big Song. That's where the word Skibidi comes from. That's the origins of Skibidi Toilet. Is Skibidi, the word, comes from, at least popularized by the very popular Little Big song Skibidi, which has 775 million views. My whole thing was a toilet, but now I know a lot of people that associate me with Skibidi, so I kicked it. This is ancient. I'm not that old, son. True. That was 6 years ago. Anyways, we're done. Next. MJ Tron. Okay, MJ Tron. Skibidi Toilet lore and Stone Stream. The origins. I've Skibidied since before you were on the internet. You made it? You're MJ Tron? Alright, well here we go. I need the randomizer. Ooh, kind of a blood red. Kind of. Not fully, but almost. Okay. MJ Tron. Definitely feels like a robot because of Tron. MJ Tron. You know what really goes well with this color? It's this color. This color goes really well with that color. I could do the Tron thing too, where it's like split. Maybe. That's kind of cool. Okay. I feel like I want to start here. This, like, robot-y start. Now is the part where I just draw poses until something sticks. Yep, first character to have official, I would say, official eyes. I don't know I want that. Hmm. 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 We're using our thinking. Hmm. I just be doing stuff. I have no idea what this means yet. Hmm. It's kind of a cool character. I'm just doing stuff. I don't know what's happening yet. This means something? I don't know if this means anything yet. I'm just doing stuff. I don't know what it means. No, I don't know if it's gravity stuff yet. I'm just doing stuff. I like 2 weapons too. Two weapons is fun. Ooh, what if these are claws? Wait a minute, what if they're claws? Hold on. Hey, that's rude. Don't paste that there. Oops, I don't want to do that yet. Hold on, something's happening. Maybe. I don't know yet. We're just playing around. Ooh. Ooh. Those are kind of fun. The trails on this would go so hard. Raxton, what's up, buddy? So sort of plasma, they could change shape. True, but they look so cool as claws. I don't know if I want to change them. That is tough. You know what I mean? Like, I like the identity of them staying as claws, even though that's also really cool because, you know, he's like generating them obviously because they're like coming out of an area in his hands where hands aren't. But the claws look so sick. You know what? The claws could move independently. I think that's what would be really cool. Is like you could have them, like they're like fingers, you know. So like animating them would be really fun because you could just make them a you know graphic and just rotate them and move them around. Now what do they do? Like the trails on these would go so hard. Yeah, exactly. Come here. You can do them underhand and everything too. Oh, he could even spin them. He could like put them on an axis and make them like a fan blade. Like he uses them as claws, but he could rearrange. He could rearrange them. Look at that. So it's like they can be on any point of the axis. Does that make sense? Like instead of them sticking up, they're sticking out now. Yeah, smear heaven, exactly. I like that. So they hold the same shape, but he can change how they're attached on his self. Does that make sense? That's cool. I don't want to cover up his face, so we're not going to do that there. We'll do it like this. Look at that. He could also deflect bullets and stuff like that. They would deflect off. I like that a lot. That's super cool. And it fits in that robot personality a lot too. Oh, knock it off. I know I shouldn't have put this on the same layer, but I got excited. It's fine. That's so cool. And I'll do it like this, because this illustrates them being claws a little bit more. Look at that. Steal this. Check this out. That's cool. And I can do this for his eyes too. That's sick. Okay, so he has like gold. I don't know what these are made out of. Plasma claws? Plasma claws that he can change how they orient on his hands. He can change the axis. They're axis claws. Plasma axis claws. Because they can change how their axis on where they attach. Oops, that's not what I was trying to do. Now, is there something else we can do for him? I mean, the obvious would be to put the glowy stuff on his feet too, right? Like, that's like automatic. Little jet feet. Imagine him on a Monday morning as he gets paused as a weed whacker. 100%. He is definitely a landscaper. He could be. He could be a landscaper. Just because he looks like he could be violent doesn't mean he has to be, right? Blur. Dump a ton of the x-axis. The y-axis, I mean. Boom. Jetpack feet. What I could do is actually shape this. Let's shape this towards the feet. Yeah, that's better. No. Let's fade this out more, I think. That's already faded pretty well. Why is it like that? Oh, is it because of this? Yeah, let's go with this. See how I'm doing this? Okay, now we'll blur from here. Why? Interesting. Oh, you know why? It's because it has nothing to attach on top of. That's why it's acting like this. It has nothing to attach on top of. There we go. That's better. There we go. Alright, MJ Tron is sick. Look at that. Okay. Can change his claws access point. Spin claws. Send them out. Or use as claws. I don't know. Or why would I don't even know how to say that. Cook it with your TikTok name. Yeah, I like it, dude. Spins claws, send them out. Spins claws, or even attach them as big claws. I don't know. You know what I mean? Or I guess I could just say, just leave it at can change his claws access point. That's what's happening. And then on top of that, he also has jet propelled feet. I mean, it's that simple. That's pretty sick, right? I like this guy. Let's add him to the roster. I want to say how you do with the name Sand Sweeper, or something with sand in it. Is that your name? Where is this frame? Oh, does that frame include the other one as well? Probably. I gotta create a new layer for it. Hold on. There we go. That's so cool. Look at him. Damn, we're only 3 deep. Oh well, they're really cool. I really like these 3 though. Okay, MJ Tron. Now we're going to save. Save. And we're going to export. And we're going to drop it in Stone Mountain. In the RHG Creations tab. This is MJ Tron. Perfect. Now I'm going to grab that and I'm going to go put it in the TikTok I made. MJ Tron would absolutely clobber Iron Man, by the way.
Darkwave.
That's what I wrote. Hey, and guys, I appreciate all the comments you leave. Not only do they make me happy and make my day and make me feel like I'm doing something positive with my time, but it also helps out the algorithm a lot. And it says, hey, people like this content, so thank you so much for engaging with what I'm doing. I really do appreciate it. It makes all the difference. That's so cool. Then it's so fun. All it was a color and Tron, and getting that color made me think, oh, what's the complementary color to this? And how cool if I Tron it, you know? If I just simply create little lines and gaps, and then I try to give him a weapon coming out of it, and then boom, it looks like a claw, and we just take it from there. You just gotta let your imagination run free. Tronification. Okay, who's next? Mom Sheep. That's a fun one. Mom Sheep. Okay, let's strip it down. Let's get to the brain here. I just need that. Thank you. And let's go ahead and grab our hex code. Green. We like greens. We get greens a lot. Mom Sheep. Mom Sheep. So obviously this points us to sheep. Mom Sheep. How can we make this interesting? What does sheep do? Their clothing, cloth, bubbliness, lamb. Has one of those lamb staff thingies with a hook on the end. Oh, yes. That might be cool. You know what's also cool? Or creepy? This could be a creepy character. Lamb skull. Ooh. Lamb skull is creepy. Some inspiration. Lamb skulls. Okay. Ooh, that's a cool... What if it's a shaman? I think it'd be really cool if this character is like an evil shaman. I haven't had an old character in a while. I also haven't had an old lady in a while. Forever. She has to be really strong, though. Like, she's got to put McWizard. You know what I mean? Make wizard work for it. As the skeletons is peak content, yeah. The LAN skeleton goes so hard. I'm trying to think of like how to use it though. Does it need to be an old lady? I don't know if it has to be an old lady. I want someone that's, we always want to be able to have someone that does some kind of combat, right? And I feel like an old lady is not going to give you that like combat capableness. You know what I mean? But I feel like if it's gonna have this like skull weapon, to me it says shaman of some kind, you know. Which in shaman to me is like raises the dead, raises ghouls. We don't have a necromancer yet. What if we have a necromancer shaman? I'm gonna do my best on a sheep skull. Don't judge me. Let's see if I could do... I'm trying to do it from an angle too. That's crazier. I'm not a very good artist. Give me a break, okay? I do stick figures for a reason. Just give me a second here. I'm eyeballing it. I also like things to be simple. I don't want a bunch of complex shapes to this. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like the shapes there. Don't worry, the horns are coming next. Don't worry, that's the most important part, I know. I'm trying to draw from a perspective that I could actually, like, do something with first. I have no idea what this looks like from the side. Kind of like this? I think it's something like this from the side. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Because they curl. They curl like a mofo. This music is perfect for this, by the way. I don't know if I like those horns. I could leave them a little more simplistic for myself and for their overall appeal. I'm locking in. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat right now. What I can do is I can actually take these, I think. What if I duplicate it and skew it like that? I could probably get away with this. That way the horns are a little more consistent. So Something like that. Maybe. Yes. I can actually... What if I just detach them? Like so. I guess it doesn't really work the same. I mean, I can do it without the horns, but the horns are like the coolest part.
Virus.
Make them spiral up in a unique way like this. That's kind of cool. It's kind of weird, right? Flip the other one? I think you're right. You're right. That's way better. Yeah, that's way better. And they're gonna attach on the back side as well, so they're gonna be more like that. And I'll get rid of this hump right there. Oh. That's kind of cool. That's cool enough for me. What's up, Sop? Shopper? Hello, Shelby. Oh. Nothing crazy on the coloring here. Just a little darker. Connect these, double click, they're gone. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, this is basically a head inside of this. Now we can decide the placement. I think it should be like that. We haven't fleshed out any other part of the character, even in a little bit. I think that's hilarious. Added an apron? That might be kind of cool. Oh no, it cut through the body. I'm sorry. I have the technology. I can put this Gumby back together. Pro tip, by the way, if you ever want your stuff to look more more unique without having to do nightmare layers where you have like an arm on a separate layer and then the body everywhere else, actually put a physical gap so that you can make it look like it's inside the hand at all times. See? See that? And it's on a normal layer with everything else. Apron. Circle the same color stick figure. Also true. That's also true. I'm realizing I do need to separate them like so, because if I'm going to put an apron in between, I don't know if I want to do an apron or if I want to do like a almost like a skirt. I think a tattered skirt would be cool because it's a necromancer, and I don't think this would be too bad to animate either. Good secondary movement. Dang, look at those birthing hips I somehow gave this thing. What the hell? Right. More skirts. More skirts, more necromancers. At least more skirts. Maybe not no more necromancers. I don't know. I feel like a wrist accessory to like showcase that they're summoning the dead or whatever. I think that's a simple enough thing that it's like I want this to be like the source of the power. Some like there's a collab happening between the wrist and the wand. Yeah, a lot of yeah, I do like that. I like the idea of a necromancer. I've always been a big fan of necromancers when it comes to like video games and stuff. One of my favorite classes for sure. I just like the idea of having like these little ghouly goblins on my team, you know? Summoners are absolutely a fun class. Mom sheep. Now, what kind of things would they summon? No, don't say sheep. I think that's boring. The necromancer monkeys are my favorite ones in Bloons TD6. That's so funny you said that. My kid came to me and talked about Bloons TD6 today, but for a completely unrelated random reason, and also it sounds like something he even talks about. I don't want to do dead sheep because he's gonna animate dead sheep. Blood powers. Blood powers are cool. I'm just doodling stuff. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Reanimating other green stick figures. I like the contrast though of the red. To me, this is like in the middle of forming one. Am I grossing you guys out? Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing this yet. I'm just doing this. I don't know what this means yet. Ew. Ew. Hey, ew. Gross. Ew. Look at this guy. Ew. I mean, I feel like this might be an effects nightmare that other people are not going to want to tackle. I would have a good time with this, but I don't know if other people would. Reanimating blood to make red stick figure. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, I like that. What if there's blood coming out of its mouth when she casts spells? Like, it bleeds. And the more kills she gets, the more kills she gets, the more kills she gets, the more she can summon. We're gaming. Shut up, we're gaming. The more kills she gets, the more she can summon. Shut up, we're gaming. Okay, now this guy needs to be smaller. No, this guy needs to be behind the weapon at least. Oops. Let's get this ghoulie behind the weapon. The ghoulie behind the girly. That way we can see the actual the blood coming out of the I want the weapon to be very, like, you could see it. You know what I mean? Creative, better than just sheep. Yeah, oh yeah. Did you guys see what we did with Ohio Skibidi? Look at Ohio Skibidi. It's Ohio Skibidi. Ski Buddy. He uses 2 skis that he's fashioned into blades, and he can jump on them and ride them like skis, and the blades have a passive that when he hits people, it creates snowballs that orbit Ohio Ski Buddy, and then they heat seek nearby enemies like Ari. Yes. We can be creative with anything. If we can make Ohio Skibidi something interesting, then we can do anything. I love to see it, dude. Exortine's watching. Exortine's bringing some of our creations to life. You know what we do? Is I make one back here that you can see is coming to life behind her. And then I make another one that's like formed already. That's more formed. That's more put together. What do you guys think of that? I think that makes more sense. It shows like the evolution of it, the summon. Like that. And then I'll add some dripping blood from this, but not like as much. There we go. Ah! Yes, dude. And I agree. I think her face should have some blood on it, like war paint almost. Can I put it underneath that? Yes. I'm trying to decide how I want it. I don't want it to cover up her quote-unquote eyes, though. I want it to also look somewhat intentional. Like she places it here like this. Yes. Oh, can I make a skull? Oh my god. I'm gonna be so extra right now. Yo, it's so extra. Yeah. Yes, dude. Also, to show that they're magically controlled by her, let's make this like this. And do I do a yellow maybe? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, watch this. We're gonna make a radial gradient. Oval. With this color, I think. Let me see what I can do here. Let me experiment. Give me a chance to think. Let me experiment. Trust. Trust the process. Trust the process, because I am. Do I need the background thing? I think I do, but maybe it goes lighter. That's cool. That way you can tell it's like it's summoning and controlling them. And Mom Sheep, if you think about this creatively, you could use Mom Sheep's summons to block attacks. Like, she's gonna fight through them. She's gonna, like, dance in combat. She'll be dancing in combat, summoning, and the more kills she gets, the more defeats, I should say. The more defeats she gets, the more ammo she has to create. Like that. What if I did? Hold on. What if I did something like this? But like I did a different guy. So it doesn't look like a copy of the same guy. You know what I mean? I don't think that's necessary. That's extra. Blood summons. Oh, you know what? to kind of go in line with like the sheep helms. The horn theme. Yeah.
Void.
I'm trying to decide if I want to keep the glow on them or not. Maybe I just make it really faint, like that. What happens if I do this to these guys? Too vibrant. This is cool. I like this a lot. Blood summons. Summons blood demons. More defeats. More blood for demons. It's that simple. And of course you can use the staff here as a weapon, but I think that's pretty much assumed. Correct? I would think so. Are these both set to normal? Okay, no. I want to tone this in a little bit. I want to bring that in a little further. Yeah, I don't want it to be so massive. That's so cool. Do I need to do anything with the wrist? I don't think I do. I can do a little something with the wrist to make it look like they're working together. Like she's controlling them. Like this summons them, and this controls them. That's what it is.
Void.
Summons with the wand, controls with the wrist. Like I'm not even assuming that when she raises these things from the earth, that she's controlling them, and that's why she has that bracelet. It's like she knows the spells to summon them, but she also has to have the bracelet to control them. Otherwise, they just roam. I think that's cool. Do I do something with this, maybe? To show, like, control over the object? Experimenting. Is that too extra? That may not be necessary. It's kind of cool though. It like illustrates the control. Like a carrot on a stick when riding pigs on Minecraft? Yeah. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. It looks like it's tied together, and it's so simple. It's just a radial gradient that you can just even just place on the ghouls' heads if you wanted to. Controls demons with bracelet. Summons blood demons. With staff. Since I'm outlining the context of how she's doing it with the bracelet, I think it's only fair that I do the same for the staff. Summons blood demons with staff, controls demons with bracelet, more defeats, more blood for demons. Simple? Simple but cool? Yes. Yes. Okay. Mom Sheep is done exporting. Let's grab Mom Sheep's frames. Let's put her into the roster. Mom Sheep. There we go. Oh, I'm sure they could absolutely use blood. Yo, what's up? I didn't even see Beyond the Rift. What the heck? What's up, buddy? Look how many, dude. Oh my god. Look how many we have. Look at these guys, dude. You can't tell me that you can't come up with an original idea for a character now. Look at that. His ability is he can imagine something, and his magic graffiti canister will bring it to life in text, graffiti text. It's also a jetpack, and that's why his feet are covered in paint. Come on, dude. Overuse has an arm that has explosive punches, and it goes on cooldown, and then he can shoot out the steam because he overuses that same arm. When his punches are on cooldown, he uses it to shoot out steam. Spectre is so cool, dude. This guy has a mace lantern that every time he hits somebody, it begins to pull their soul out. And once he does pull their soul out, the soul goes into his soul factory on his backpack. And it shoots the soul energy after it's gone through the factory out the chimney to power his mace lantern. So he reaps souls, they get churned into energy, and then they go. The energy gets shot out and sent back to his mace lantern, which makes his attacks stronger and pull souls faster. There's so many cool ones, dude. Habalababobo, a creepy tendril clown. Oh my god. Oh my god. This guy escaped his comic book world, and he took these special daggers with him that allow him to cut himself out of his comic book world. But then once he's out of that comic book world, he can create these comic book windows and teleport to them and then cut himself out again. So in combat, it's like playing whack-a-mole with a bunch of different comic strips popping up everywhere. Rajamations, he's a heavy, or what I call a heavy. So he attacks slow, right? He has this big scythe. Every time he reaps somebody with his scythe, he gets 2 new antennae that grow on his head. He can then break those antennas off of his head to cram them in the back of his scythe. And then these are like heat-seeking missiles. If you've ever played Halo, the gun, the Needler, where you shoot all the bullets out of the Needler, and they like heat-seek themselves to the target. That's what these do. So he can decide to shoot them off and hit his target. And because since he's a heavy, he's slow, it slows the target down. Then he can walk up, slice, and then he grows 2 more antennae. And so I imagine that he's like from an alien planet. And on this alien planet, he's seen as a great warrior if you come back from combat with a ton of antennae. Because it showed that you didn't need to use all of your antennae in order to get more foes to collect. There's so many cool ones, dude. Oh my god. Vessel. This is our first aquatic creature that we started with tonight. He contains Cthulhu. And so he has a fishing rod where he can cast it and catch you and then pull you towards the Cthulhu that lives within with his tentacle arms. I think that'd be cool. Boise, which was, my interpretation was bow easy. It's the world's easiest bow. He just pulls back the string and it inserts a random object. And when he lets it fly, it has perfect arrow-like trajectory, meaning it doesn't just flop on the ground or fall right in front of him. It'll actually fly like he's shooting an arrow, but it could be anything. So you got like a kunai, axes, swords, arrows, shovels, spatulas, shurikens, bow easy, Boise, bow easy. Surtex Quake, dude, this one took me a while to figure out something for. Surtex doesn't mean anything as far as like, it's not a word that I could like drive something from, but I took it as Sir Tex, like Sir Texan, and Texan made me think of cowboy. And so we came up with this cowboy character who has a hobby horse as a weapon that he calls Lassie, and he's super protective of it because it's special. When you hit somebody with Lassie, it sends out big shockwave, a big shockwave blast. Surtex Quake. The shockwave creates quakes, so it's Surtex Quake. Lassie. Oh my god, Crow for Crow. This one was earlier today too. I know a lot of you guys have already seen these, but I know some people are here new tonight. Crow for Crow, I took for eye for an eye, but it's crow for a crow. And so you can see he's like in pain and he has this like beak that's off to the side of his head. And it looks like the beak is all beat up, right? And it's like all tattered wings and stuff. So he's seeking revenge, crow for a crow. And he has a sickle that can manipulate the wind. So you can create cyclones with it. So imagine him flying up and then he slices down at the ground and maybe pushes the air, or he can cyclone towards himself and create like a tornado and pull people up to him. Crow for a crow. Oh, this is another fun name one. Tua Central. Tua Central, right? All I have is a name, and that's how I do these. I start with a name. Tua. I was like, what's Tua? I was like, well, it's 2AA. What's 2AA? 2 double A. 2 double A. Double A battery. Double A battery. On a staff that's connected by cords. It's a 2 double A battery staff. Central. He has a battery acid demon at the center of him. 2 double A's. Central. Kai-chan, what's up, buddy? Rio, this is a fairy forest god. It can run around through the forest, any forest, and control all the vines. Also flies with its like butterfly-esque plant wings, and has a staff with a deadly hornet's nest at the end. So if Rio gets attacked, the hornets will attack the target. Or if Rio's attacking somebody with the hornet's nest, they'll attack somebody. That's another fun one. Jay, if any of you have played Ratchet and Clank, Jay has a gun that if you land the bullets, like you hit your target, these little cogs pop out. And these cogs pop out like almost like sonic rings. And Jay has this big cannon on his back, and these cogs will get absorbed by the cannon, and then he can bend down like a tripod and shoot these things like Blastoise off his back, like buckshot. So he's called the Big Shot. So the more shots he lands, the more gears he gets. It fills up his backpack cannon, and then he buckshots the Big Shot. There's so many cool ones, dude. We've been at it for a minute. Look at MJ Tron. MJ Tron's actually really simple. MJ Tron has jet boots, right? Jet boots. But also can change the axis of these claws at the ends of their hands. So it can place the claws facing straight out like normal, or can lay them completely horizontally so it acts like a fan. Can manipulate how these claws attach at the end. So many characters, dude. And all of these are just comments on a TikTok. Who would you say is the least lethal? Ooh, the least lethal? Probably Silly P. Silly P can turn any of their limbs into springs, which obviously is dangerous, but not super lethal, right? Could be really interesting, but it's not necessarily super dangerous. But you can see how it could be really fun to use. Most lethal? This guy right here. Dumb animator, this little baby. Let me show you why. I'm gonna show. I have to give you visuals. Warning if you have a weak stomach. I'm gonna show you something for turquoise that's really gross. I'm gonna show you why this little tiny dumb kid with a bucket of sand and a shovel is the scariest one. So almost. Hold on, I gotta find it. This is important. Okay. So I got it. So this little guy here, that's a tooth, by the way. This is like a dumb little kid. But this is why this guy is easily the most terrifying. This bucket is a bucket of sand, but it's an infinite bucket of sand, okay? But this is like a little kid. It's an evil little kid. This sand, when it touches you, it causes a rapid growth of cancer. So think like this. Watch this character, how it fills up. Like that. Do you see how that fills up? Imagine that happening after you just got hit with that sand right on your forehead. And then it rapidly blows up. All you have to do is get touched by a little bit of that sand. And that's what's going to happen. And this evil little child knows this. But it doesn't even have to move a whole lot. You just can't get near this thing at all. It's just going to flick this sand at you. Has an infinite amount of it. And as soon as it touches you, that's what's happening to you. Absolutely terrifying. And I figured that'd be the best thing for the smallest, most innocent looking character. The contrast. Is Dumb affected by the sand? No, immune to the sand completely. But if you get tapped, my friend going, ew, 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 yes. Yeah, just a little bit of that sand on you, and you're getting a massive, massive tumor, rapidly growing that fast, and then it explodes. This would be the scariest one to me. FT? Anims? What's up, Anims? I'll just call you Anims. Any other questions on any of these before we move on? Oh, you know what? I never gave Mom Sheep their character. Let me go ahead and do that real quick here. So what I do is in Stone Mountain, I post it to myself, which is my Discord, and then I haven't even done that yet. So in Stone Mountain, I have a tab called RHG Creations, and I simply paste in, this is Mom Sheep, right? We did Mom Sheep last. Yep, Mom Sheep, and then I grab it with my phone, and then I reply to the person on TikTok with that creation. Boop, boop. Okay, going to TikTok, then I just need to find Mom Sheep in the comments and reply, and I'm good. Somewhere here. Mother Necromancer. Fear the blood, guys. Fear the blood demons. All right. Done and done. Oh man, sometimes the app crashes when I go to upload, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm uploading I'm replying with an image, and sometimes it crashes. And it crashed. So hold on 1 second. Oh my great googly moogly. And it's so annoying because the messages are not in chronological order, so they get like, they have like a randomness to them. Mother Necromancer. Don't let her summon more demons. Okay, please post. Alright, we're good. It happened. Okay. Who has the most difficult power to use? To use? Like to animate? Can I use jelly jam for my sandwiches? Yes. The most difficult power to animate or to utilize, I guess. Because I guess it's kind of different. Utilize. To utilize. Maybe Obsessive Stickman, just because he has conditions. So Obsessive Stickman, he's the #1 Stickman fan. Obviously, you can tell by his crown that he won for being the #1. Right? And he has a scythe that looks like a flag. This is #1 on it, right? What he does is this foam finger shoots out sticky popcorn, like big sticky popcorn. And if it lands on a target, and then he hits the target with his scythe, the popcorns explode that are attached to that target. What number am I on? I am on on this list, number 14. But I'm probably gonna stop at this point. This is number 14 on this list, but obviously I've done more than 14 of them. I probably made about 20 before I started making a list, something like that. So there's conditions that have to be met for Obsessive Stick Fan. The hardest to animate might be Stick Nation, because Stick Nation has these little cords that they attach to people that drain all of their energy. So you can imagine if he's fighting a bunch of people, you'd have a bunch of cords attached to a bunch of targets, and you have to animate all those cords and all those targets. You could get away pretty easily by using just a line tool and just kind of dragging decrepit little, stick figures that have been shrunk down really quickly, or look like they've had all the energy drained out of them, make them really thin, kind of like ragdoll them with him. But that one would be kind of difficult the longer the battle goes on, I think. It also depends on what you're good at. Like, I wouldn't have a problem animating Jelly Jam because I like doing effects. Every attack, there's like jelly that comes off of the character, and then that character can actually jump in and travel inside of the jelly that's on the ground, kind of like Splatoon. Have you ever made a song? Long time ago. But I am gonna go to bed, my friends. It is late here. We got a couple more done. We did 4 tonight. Again, 4 every 2 hours seems to be about my pace. So we did 2 hours. We created 4 more. That's about my pace right now. So if you would like to get your own, you can do so. Sorry, it's loud. You can do so by going to the pinned link, or the one I just pasted there. If you leave a comment and are following, you will get on my list, and I will make you your own official custom RHG. All right, my friends, I'll be on live again tomorrow doing this again, so I thank you so much. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day and or night, wherever you are in the planet. Goodbye. I'll see you soon.